Yeah.
Hope you're not using all of them.
I'm not saying my age. I'm not saying my age. I'm mid-20s.
What car I drive? I don't have a daily. Oh, I have to say my age?
Do we have to? Let's skip that. Can we skip that?
Hi, my name's Cole Martin, and I'm a custom car builder and co-owner of Throttle Thrashers Garage.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Lesnowski. I'm a custom car builder and a co-owner of Throttle Thrashers Garage.
When I first built that car, when I started building it, I was definitely a rookie, I would say. A lot of the stuff I did on the car was a very first time for me. And I was also broke at the time, so it was a very difficult task to get done. And we did not have the right supplies or the tools to do it, but we managed to get it done.
No, building the FD was a tough go. That was definitely something I have never dabbled in before. We weren't set up, we didn't have the tools. That was a struggle for the both of us, and of course we didn't give ourselves enough time. So yeah, no, we're lucky to be alive after that one.
We were rookies, and we still are rookies, I would say.
I feel like you're always a rookie though.
Yeah, because there's always something to learn, always something to do better. You're never the best or ever gonna be, because you can always get better.
Yeah, it's hard to put a ceiling on that kind of thing, right? Because you just always feel like there's always something new coming out every year that you could get better at.
And every build you do, you feel like you can do it better.
Oh, and that's the worst part. If you take too long to do a build, you get to the end and you're looking at it going, I would have done this and this differently.
Or you never get to the end because you constantly want to go back to the beginning to redo the whole build.
Oh yeah, that happens for sure.
That I wanted to do something that would either hurt a lot of people's feelings, perform well, and just check all the boxes for being out of the box. The main thing about that car that hurts a lot of people's feelings is the fact that it has a 2JZ in an R32 GTR, because the 2JZ is out of a Toyota Supra. I would say that's the biggest thing, plus cutting it up and converting it to left-hand drive. And I mean, wide body doesn't really take away from it, but yeah, left hand and the 2JZ. But that's why I kept it all-wheel drive, so it was blasphemy, but not too much blasphemy.
Yeah, so the first idea that I had to build the FD was because I couldn't afford an MK4, so I built an FD. And then the second part was that there was so much unnecessary trunk space that I felt it was necessary to put an engine back there. Why does the FD piss people off? Well, listen, they're still finding reasons to be pissed, but I would probably lead with the fact that I took out the rotary. That never sits well. And then I put my 2.7 liter Audi twin turbo in a mid-engine, rear-engine placement. And they don't like that, don't know why. Ironically though, I kind of played myself because I did that and my argument was for reliability, and it's been nothing, no part of reliability in this build whatsoever. So yeah, I think they kind of got me on that one.
I would say that winning Young Guns, or well, top 3 for us, for me, was being able to prove to a younger generation that it is possible, because the people that we were going up against were people who had money. They had well-established shops where they have access to everything. When we first went to SEMA, I mean, with the FRS, we had literally, we didn't even have a hoist. We had jack stands and a Canadian Tire cutoff wheel and a welder, and everything was done in a garage, painted in a garage, bodywork, everything was all done in an area that could kind of prove to everyone that no matter where you are, as long as you are dedicated to it, you could get it done. And still compete against those who have everything.
Sounded like you were gonna cry at the end there, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, no, I'm just still nervous.
Winning Young Guns for me personally, that was big. I was the first woman in SEMA history to make that top 12 position. And that was heavy. I mean, it still kind of weighs on me, and I think it's part of the reason that it's taken me so long to actually circle back and start this next build, is there's this looming pressure that I gotta do myself one better and do the women of the industry one better. And now as a collective, I mean, it was absolutely massive to do that together and be able to be there, and in the moment you never quite value it because you're always looking to actually win, right? We're both very competitive people, and as much as we cheered each other on, we wanted one of us to win, of course. But looking back now, I'm really grateful that didn't happen, because I think the journey could have ended there, and we might have cut ourselves short, and maybe we wouldn't, one of us, whoever won, wouldn't have done another build. So I think it happened the way it needed to happen, and I really value the magnitude of the success now, much more so than when we were in the moment. Being a woman in the industry, I mean, I think being in the industry in itself can be really difficult. I don't think it's just related to gender, and as much as I can, I try and remove gender out of it, but there's only so much I can do, and the rest of the world is still going to choose to feel the way they feel about it. I do always feel a looming expectation that I have to do things significantly better than, say, my counterpart, the way Cole has to. I do feel like there's a lot of people who are waiting for me to fail, and I do fail, and I try to do my best to document that failure, because I think it's important that it's not gender specific. We all fail, we all get there, and we all have to get back up. So it's, yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's a battle every single day, but like I said, I mean, I try and remove the gender out of it as much as I can, because in my opinion, equality comes from not putting such a focal point on the diversity.
We would go to car shows, like when we were first really getting into the scene, and we would go to a park at a car show, and guys would come up and start talking to me like it's my car, and I would literally point at Chelsea and say it's his car and not try and say anything about it. And they would,
his.
or at her.
That's crazy.
Basically, we would go to some car shows and people would ask how she got the car there because it was a manual. And, or they would, after I directed them to her that it was her car, they would still be looking at me while she is answering the question.
That still happens.
It still does.
That
yes.
still happens. That's so frustrating, because they'll be asking questions about what I do, but they're looking at Cole, and it's such an uncomfortable situation.
While you are answering it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and I mean, it's gonna take time, I think, for the industry to catch up, and just something that they're not used to seeing. They're not used to seeing women in this industry, and there's a reason for that. We don't have a ton of women in the industry, and I'm hoping we get to that place, and it's my job, along with a lot of other credible women in the industry, to make that space. Maybe someone will look me in the eyes in 2027, though. That'd be cool.
2027?
Well, I'm giving it a year.
Oh, okay. I mean, you already gave it 10, but...
What's one more year?
Yeah.
The most challenging part about building the FD was actually trying to survive to get to SEMA, I think. That really about sums it up for me. I went about a month through that build process not knowing I had a stroke, and they missed it. And I had 24/7 vertigo. I lost my vision, and I was so incredibly sick that whole month. And that was by far one of the hardest things I've ever had to do mentally, I think. And I mean, I've had a lot of health problems in my life, but that one kicked my ass, because I really wasn't sure I was gonna make it. And there was a lot of other health issues happening at that same time. And I kind of was under the impression that would probably be the last SEMA car I ever built. So there was a lot of pressure, wondering if I was gonna make it at all. And of course, the build itself, from a fabrication point of view, was incredibly complex, but that to me is tangible. You can write it down, you can measure it, you can see it, but there's something about having that mental strength to have to push through your physical body failing you, but mentally you want it so bad. So I will definitely say that will stick with me forever. In anything that I do, was getting through that car and knowing I can. And anytime I do feel that feeling in my life where I have self-doubt, that's what I go to.
I think mine would kind of be along the same lines, but a different perspective would be my perspective of seeing her going through this and doing this, with her looking at it as the aspect of this is the only time and the last chance mindset going into it, like she may not even survive doing it. Like it's kind of like, this is all I have and I'm throwing it all out there to do this. And it was watching that happen. Well, yes, while we had our struggles building these cars, but I think that is one of the things that made it mentally the hardest, was trying to also motivate you while going through that, knowing at the same time, like, this is probably not the best thing for us, physically, mentally, anything, because we pushed way too hard. We did make it and we're happy we made it, but we did pay for it.
You know, I just felt like I went back to square one. You know, I'd worked so hard to become the builder that I was, and all of a sudden I needed someone to hang on to and kind of steer me in the right way, and he would help put my hands where they needed to be to mix paint and make sure that I was actually pouring it into my gun and not onto the table, right? And yeah, it was humbling, right? Because all of a sudden everything slowed down, and it slowed down for his build and for mine. But I will say I always have so much gratitude for the fact that he was there to help guide me around the booth or wherever I was going, because that took time away that he could have been building. So it was kind of a big caretaker sort of teamwork moment at the end, because my health was failing me so bad and he was making such an effort, because I was adamant doing it myself. There was no way I was gonna let anyone do it for me, and he made sure to just hold my hand or guide my shoulders or somehow find a way to kind of put me where I needed to be. Or I'd ask him, how far off the panel am I? And he would tell me, you're 6 inches, you're 4 inches, right? Because I just didn't have that depth perception. Everything changed. Like I lost my senses and he became my senses.
We took it very seriously for the Young Guns Battle, the builders, with being able to go there and saying, like, I did this and I did this, because that to us was one of the key things for the Young Guns Battle, the builders, is that you're doing majority of the work yourself.
Yep.
And we obviously took that to a whole level of where our health's at risk doing it too.
Yeah, and I mean,
just
like at the end of the day, it wasn't that deep, right? Like it's a car show. In the grand scheme of life, it wasn't that important. Your life and your health and your happiness is so much more important. But for me, and I feel like I can speak for Cole, that is who we are. We are very driven. We are very goal orientated. And for me, it was actually to a certain degree that deep, because I did have doctors, you know, prior to even the stroke, saying my health was going to deteriorate, and they didn't even see this future for me, and they didn't know what kind of future, if any future. So yeah, it did feel that important to me. And Cole took it as seriously as I did, and I think that's all you can really ask for in a partner, is that when I felt as strongly as I did, he stepped up and he felt the same way. So no, we didn't need to do that, but it was the right thing to do. And I'm glad we did.
Goals to us are life and death.
And that's just who we are. I mean, we're very
you want
0
it,
to
you
100
get
people.
it, or you die trying.
Absolutely. And I almost did.
Yeah.
But I'm here now. Ricky.
Yeah.
Bitch, you're making me emotional.
No.
Fuck. Oh my God.
I mean, when I was younger, I always liked building stuff. I always liked pulling stuff apart, and that's how I learned how to do, everything I know how to do is from tearing stuff apart, trial and error. So it was a challenge, and I liked the challenge, especially being as far out of the box as it was. The more out of the box this idea was, the more I was able to think and try and create new visions of how things should work or could work, whether it was right or wrong. It's just the way that I made it make sense. And just it's not a specific point, it's just the general idea of being able to challenge myself. That's made it the funnest.
When you asked me what the funnest part was about that build, I have a really tough time answering that.
It's just trauma.
Yeah, it was tough, right? I mean, it just felt like I didn't really feel like I built that car for me. I built it for the people around me, to show them I could, and sort of have maybe a little bit of a legacy there, if it needed to be one. I did it for the younger women or the younger generation as a whole. I did it because I said I wanted to do it. I have a really tough time grasping any type of emotion other than perseverance at the time of the build. Because I also knew if I let my emotions get the best of me, I would have crumbled. So I had to be pretty stoic through that whole build and just keep it together. So I'm not sure. I haven't really allowed myself to think about that too much.
Well, it's like even if we think about SEMA, I almost don't even remember anything. I only remember the struggles of it, not the sitting there standing on the stage. Oh, hey, you guys are top 3. I don't remember standing on a stage. I don't remember any of that.
It's traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, we also went into it with 96 hours of no sleep and we were zombies, but yeah, no, most of like that stuff was a blur.
Yeah. And that's something I have really learned, right, is to slow down, if anything, just mentally for a moment and have some gratitude for how far you've made it. Even if it's not where you want to be, there's still some beauty in being able to make it anywhere at all. Because I was in that place where I maybe wouldn't have made it anywhere at all. And I still pushed past that, and I'm grateful for what I have today and the health I have today. And it has changed my perspective, and I am able to slow down more now than I could then. And we're working on that, right? Practicing just enjoying the process. But I think any builder, anyone out there that's striving towards something big, finds themselves in that position where it is tough to just take that beat and go, okay, you know what? This is big. Like, I've made it this far. How grateful can I be for having the opportunity to care this much? I mean, there's so much weight in that. You just don't consider that. Being able to work towards something hard is a gift. It's a blessing, and we don't recognize it.
Well, we're just, everyone's looking for the finish line and not enjoying the race.
Yeah, and it's too bad because the race is the stuff you remember, and that's why we sit here and you ask us about SEMA and kind of just shake our head, right? It's hard. We were just so focused on getting to the finish line, and that's something I hope we can exercise better now, is recognizing the race is the good part, right? That's where you actually get to see the movement. The finish line is super, but it's also fleeting. It's quick. You look at the car, it's done. Okay, build the next one.
Well, and that's, I think, also partially, part of why we're doing what we're doing here right now is to share it with you guys, because then it's also going to hold us accountable for enjoying those moments.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know too that it's really important for us to be able to show candidly what this looks like from the inside, because I think it's really easy to get discouraged when you see people on the internet doing cool things and it feels so far away. But we're not special. We're not special. We've never been special. Nothing we've ever done is special. We come from the least amount of education, the least amount of financial background. We have done things from collecting bottles to get money to be able to survive, to quite literally almost dying, right? And it truly, it doesn't take a special person to do special things. It just takes that special motivation, which is something you develop.
You just got to give yourself, don't give yourself the opportunity to fail. Or if you are gonna fail, keep trying. At least just go.
Don't fail and quit.
Yeah.
Just don't fail and quit.
What's that mean? Just do it.
Who's gonna carry the boats? Who's gonna carry the boats?
Yeah, who's gonna carry the boats?
Someone's gonna carry the boats.
Yeah.
Wait, we're both taking a deep breath. That's how you know it's real. I still have some trauma, I think, hidden inside my bones from this whole thing.
I don't remember an exact time, but I can tell you I remember us calling the trailer dude who was waiting across the border to get the cars and telling him we needed another 24 hours. And he waited in Orville for an extra day just so we could finish the cars, because also Chelsea's car, 7 days before they were supposed to get on the trailer, wasn't even painted, and it was a bare shell. My car was a bit more ahead because I had more time. I started a little bit earlier than you. I still had a lot of loose ends, but her car was basically just a bare bone shell 7 days before. We have photos of it where I think she literally just had it in base 7 days before.
I don't think I'm pretty sure I still had it in high build primer.
Or it was in primer.
I just finished
yeah.
blocking. Yeah, I just finished blocking it.
And right before the cars got picked up, we were up for 96 hours straight. And when we finished, the cars got also, sorry, I can keep rambling on about this day. When Buddy, we had someone else pick up the cars to take it across the border. When he came by, we had been up for 96 hours. It took us 6 hours to get her car and my car on the trailer because his trailer was like 3 feet high and he had normal like excavator style ramps. So we had to load it onto our trailer off of a hoist because the ramp system made it so that we couldn't just drive onto our normal trailer. We had no other ramps to get onto that, and then pulled out and back it up onto his trailer to do ramps from there, which were ratchet strapped down to then try and drive it up, which also her car had no brakes at the time either.
We should pop in a photo of that actually. Because
yeah, we do. And then the way we looked in that photo.
Oh, we were cooked. We were absolutely cooked. It's taken us how many more years since then to just recover from that?
Yeah.
But that was brutal. And Cole's right. I mean, that was so stressful. And you got to think, you've got so many hours in the last XYZ amount of your life invested into these cars, and having to load them like this, knowing that there is no room to go back and fix anything, was horrifying. And actually, when we were loading my car, we were all so tired. Everyone kind of around the hauler was tired, and the FD ended up getting scratched really bad on the quarter panel. And I remember like there was no energy to even be upset. I couldn't cry, I couldn't be angry. It was just, what do you do? Like there's nothing you can do. And that's one thing that anyone who is used to being in high pressure scenarios similar to that one realizes that the emotions are irrelevant. It doesn't help you in that instance. So yeah, the cars got loaded, and I ended up packing an extra suitcase with some wet sandpaper and my polisher and my pads. And I ended up plugging in outside of SEMA when the cars got dropped off and was polishing nonstop. And it was fine. I was able to bring it back. But stressful, right? I mean, all of it is just really tough. And you kind of got to realize too in that moment that something as simple as just a scratch like that on the quarter panel could put you from that placing position to not even being on the board. And that's when it really does feel real for me, is knowing just such a small movement of laziness or not being completely coherent can be the difference between a win and a loss. That's hard. The stakes are really high, right? So it doesn't matter how much you're rushing. Even if you give yourself tons of time to get there, there's always that small opportunity that you just are off your guard and something like that happens. Stressful. That's the part I think I hate the most.
Another thing too I remembered about that is, we probably shouldn't talk about it, but that night at SEMA, the day before the show, when the cars got inside the building, we snuck past, or like one security guard led us into SEMA to where we worked on the cars till 2, 3 in the fucking morning. Inside the show, when the show was closed, we were still in there trying to build like hood props, because we had no props for our hoods or anything to hold them up. And you're still polishing, and yeah, I think we even brought like a spray bomb because we had this out of these like raw metal hood props. So we were just literally in the side corner at SEMA trying to spray bomb them. And
it's not all glamour, you know, and that's the thing that a lot of people are blind to, right? And there's only so many things that we've been able to capture on social media, and it is really hard to be a builder and then also try and create the content, because it's difficult to do both. So there's a lot of wacky things that we've had to do just trying to get where we needed to be.
For me, it goes back to the same question about what was the most exciting thing on the 32. I get my brain going again. I get to re-engineer and figure out how to make something work that also hasn't been done, and just get creative again and get excited about that. That's what drives me.
The challenge. Everything is so new, and we always find a way to raise the stakes every time we build something. So it's new every time. It's not so rinse and repeat. And I think that's imperative for our progress and our mental health doing this is to continue to raise the bar and find something new to chew on, because doing the same builds over and over again, it gets repetitive and the reward isn't the same. And I think that's where you can really burn out, is not giving yourself that opportunity to strive towards something bigger. So I'm really excited to just do something that I have no idea how to do, but surely by the end of it, I'll know how to do it, and then figure out something else I don't know how to do after that.
Figure it the fuck out.
Literally figure the fuck out. I mean, there isn't really much more to it than that. It just feels good to do something hard. Yeah, I mean, in the moment it's tough, but it feels so good to be challenged like that.
Yeah, and when you're not doing that, it's so easy to get, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, to getting stuck in a loop, to where you just suddenly get comfortable doing your day-to-day and stop challenging yourself to push yourself beyond your limits that you set, because the only limits you have are the ones you set yourself. So,
and that's a quote that we've lived by for the last decade, is that's the banger, that's the headline for Throttle Thrashers that we've always said, right? Because there is no limit, it's just what you choose it to be. And that's the whole goal when we build another car, is set the new limit. What's the new limit for this one? What can we do better? And there's always better. And that's why I will always look at myself like a rookie, no matter what.
And don't ever compare your limit or what you're doing to anyone else, just as long as you are improving on yourself. Well, I guess, I mean, that's a hard one, because we'll find out. We haven't really given ourselves much time.
That part for sure.
So that's about where I'm going to cap it there. I'm not going to get too much into how the preparation, I mean, you guys will see.
Knowing what we know now and going through what we went through and being in the trenches the way we were with my health and leaving the car so late and giving ourselves such little time, that helped change the perspective for sure. And finding more gratitude and finding more enjoyment in it, I would say. But like I said, I know who we are, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get into it and we just go, full hard mode. But
as of right now, the goal is the race, not the finish line. Well, the only thing I'm going to tell you about bigger is, I mean, this is a little bit of a giveaway, but it might be a bigger, and I mean bigger, engine.
Wow, you're such a cornball. You're such a cornball for that. That's crazy. Okay, Unc, that's crazy. What about simple? Are you doing anything simpler this time?
Nah, get fucked.
All right, bars.
Yeah.
Is there anything I'm doing bigger? Yeah, I mean, I'm starting from nothing. There's absolutely no starting point. There's no chassis, there's no body panels. I'm basically building an entire car from nothing. So that feels like a massive feat. Now, simpler, those two things don't sound like they can be true at the same time, but I am going to try to work with the general shape of the vehicle this time around, and maybe not quite take such a hard left turn and try and reinvent the wheel, and go for a bit more of a classical type build. It's going to be out of the box in its own ways, but I'm thinking that's kind of where I'm going to do my best to keep a lid on it. Is the innovation is going to go into other things, not body styling quite as much.
I think the only thing that I could think of maybe for simpler is trying to use technology we have access to.
Oh,
like
wait,
3D
can I say that?
printing, 3D scanning, whereas the previous builds, we had none of that.
Yeah.
It was we barely even, what was it? It's measure once, cut twice, or measure none, cut till it fits style.
That's what we do. We just keep measuring and cutting and measuring and cutting.
No, you just don't even, we just don't even measure. You just cut it till it fits.
This is 6 inches.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would need anything else other
that's
than this.
kind of straight.
That's a great point. Working with modern day technology, because I think for the longest time we sort of rebuked the whole thing. Like, we wanted nothing to do with that modern stuff. And we are still at our core cardboard people. We love a good cardboard or like a Coroplast, and you just cut it up.
Sometimes for us, we just don't have the patience
To learn
be like, oh,
something
hey,
new.
I'm gonna go on a computer, I'm gonna try and do this, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait 10 hours to print it. Where it's like, you know, I can just cut it out of cord, get it, or out of cardboard, get it kind of straight, and then yeah, no, we're good. Let's carry on to the next thing.
Yeah. That's a big one, actually, for sure. And I didn't even consider
But that's
that.
the rush it mentality, the get it done now the mentality, the not planned, the just we're
This is
just
what we
doing
got. We got cardboard in
Yeah.
the back. We got scissors. Let's just build the damn thing.
Yeah.
So that is something we have taken these last few years and got better at is computer design and working with.
Yeah, kind
This
of.
is not great, but it's okay. And trying to do things modern age technology. It is quicker. It's less labor intensive in some ways, right?
It's accurate.
Too.
Yeah.
That helps.
That we are not experts and that money didn't buy or build these cars. A lot of people come up to us and the first questions they'll ask is, well, how much did that cost you? Or this must have cost a fortune, or what's this worth? When reality is it's the time
Yeah.
that's invested into them that people don't see.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point. And I was going to say, you know, we try and do our best to be as candid as we can about what the process looks like. And for me, the health problems that I went through and having my stroke, building that car and trying to document it the best you can after. But I think the reality is no matter what you do, no matter what you post online, there is always sort of this negative connotation that it's not as hard as it seems, or there's an ego behind it, or everything just goes so well. And it's never like that. I mean, there's always so much struggle, there's so much arguing, there's so much pressure. I don't care what you post on social media, it's never going to be the full look in. So I'm looking forward to documenting these next round of builds to be able to show that more candidly. Yeah.
The real struggles, not just the this is what it was and this is what it is. The actual process is going to be awesome to share.
Yeah. Oh, this is about to be raw. This is going to be raw, and this is going to be crazy because you're going to see everything that everyone's been begging us to video and show.
We're
so
actually going to share
Yeah.
content on it consistently. You're going to be able to
You're gonna
ask
see
us questions
everything.
and see what's actually going on. And these builds are us 6 years since 2019 to where we are now. So the progression should be better. I
Oh,
would like
these
to
cars are
say.
going to be crazy. He's
Oh, yeah.
being humble. I won't be humble. I'll take one for the team. These cars are going to be wild. I mean, like I can't even be humble about it. The plans are insane,
Yeah.
and we have actually done a lot of sitting down, going, okay, cool. What are we going to do after these ones? Because these, we knew where we were going. We knew the next level. But after these two, it's tough. I mean, we're building almost complete from scratch. So it's going to be tough to one-up ourselves
Yeah.
and not play ourselves on these next ones.
We'll worry about the next ones after these
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, no, good point.
Yeah.
But it's going to be raw. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be crazy. You're going to get to actually be in the room with us. And I think it's going to be wicked. I'm looking forward to it.
Same.
So just tell people to subscribe if they want to follow along on the journey, and drop in the comments what they think the builds are going to be, knowing what they know now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, do we have to say that?
So if you've made it this far in the video, obviously you maybe want to see what's to come. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, let us know questions you want to answer, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.